Welcome to our latest video where we will be sharing with you the tips for successful freelance negotiations with clients. If you're a freelancer, then you know how important it is to have strong negotiation skills when it comes to landing new clients and securing projects. In this video, we'll provide you with the essential tips and strategies you need to become a successful negotiator and ensure that you get the best possible deal for your services. So, whether you're new to freelancing or a seasoned pro, sit back, relax, and let's dive into the tips for successful freelance negotiations with clients. Understand your value. First and foremost, understanding your value means knowing your strengths and unique selling points as a freelancer. What sets you apart from other freelancers? What specific skills or expertise do you bring to the table? Knowing the answers to these questions will help you to market yourself effectively and stand out in a crowded field of freelancers. Another aspect of understanding your value is knowing how much your services are worth. Research industry standards and market rates to get an idea of what other freelancers are charging for similar services. Keep in mind that your rates should be based on your experience, skills, and expertise, so don't be afraid to charge what you're worth. It's also important to recognize the value you bring to each client and project. What specific problems or challenges can you solve for your clients? How will your services benefit their business or organization? Understanding the value you bring to the table can help you to negotiate from a position of strength and confidence, knowing that you have a lot to offer. Understanding your value is key to successful freelance negotiations with clients. It means knowing your strengths and unique selling points, understanding market rates, and recognizing the value you bring to each client and project. With this knowledge, you can confidently negotiate with clients and get paid what you deserve. Research the client. First and foremost, researching the client will give you a better understanding of their needs and preferences. What kind of projects have they worked on in the past? What are their goals and objectives for the current project? Knowing the answers to these questions can help you tailor your pitch and negotiations to better meet their needs. Researching the client can also give you an idea of their budget. Do they have a set budget for the project? Are they willing to negotiate on price? Knowing their budget constraints can help you to come up with a proposal that is realistic and within their price range. Another benefit of researching the client is that it can give you an idea of their communication style and preferences. Do they prefer to communicate via email, phone, or in-person meetings? Knowing this information can help you to tailor your communication style and avoid any misunderstandings or miscommunications. Finally, researching the client can give you an idea of their reputation and credibility within the industry. Are they known for being difficult to work with or unreliable? Knowing this information can help you to set appropriate boundaries and expectations for the project. Researching the client is a crucial step in successful freelance negotiations. It can help you to better understand their needs, preferences, and budget, as well as their communication style and reputation within the industry. With this knowledge, you can tailor your pitch and negotiations to better meet their needs and ensure a successful outcome for both parties. Be clear on the scope. Being clear on the scope of the project helps to prevent misunderstandings and disputes down the line. Make sure you and the client are on the same page when it comes to the specific tasks and deliverables that are included in the project. Define the scope of the project in writing, including timelines and deadlines, so that everyone is clear on what's expected. Being clear on the scope also helps you to avoid scope creep, which is when a project expands beyond its original parameters. Make sure you have a plan in place for handling any additional work or changes to the scope of the project, and communicate this plan to the client so they're aware of any additional costs or timelines. Another benefit of being clear on the scope is that it helps you to better estimate the time and resources required for the project. Make sure you have a good understanding of the client's expectations and goals for the project, and factor in any necessary research, revisions, or other tasks that may be required. Finally, being clear on the scope can help you to establish appropriate boundaries and manage expectations for the project. Make sure you and the client are clear on your respective roles and responsibilities, and establish a communication plan that works for both parties. Being clear on the scope of the project is essential to successful freelance negotiations. It helps to prevent misunderstandings and disputes, avoid scope creep, estimate time and resources required, and establish appropriate boundaries and expectations. With a clear understanding of the scope, you can negotiate with confidence and ensure a successful outcome for both parties. Define payment terms. Defining payment terms helps to establish trust and transparency with your client. Make sure you have a clear understanding of how you will be paid, including the amount, frequency, and method of payment. Communicate your payment expectations clearly to the client, including any required deposits or milestones. Another benefit of defining payment terms is that it helps to avoid misunderstandings or disputes down the line. Make sure you and the client are clear on your payment terms and any potential penalties for late or missed payments. Include payment terms in your contract or agreement so that everyone is clear on the expectations. When negotiating payment terms, it's also important to consider factors such as your experience, skill level, and the complexity of the project. Don't be afraid to negotiate for a higher rate if you feel that your experience or skill level warrants it. However, be prepared to justify your rate and provide examples of your work or qualifications. Finally, be open to alternative payment structures, such as hourly rates or project-based rates, depending on the nature of the project. Make sure you factor in any additional costs, such as taxes or fees, when negotiating payment terms. Defining payment terms is a critical part of successful freelance negotiations. It helps to establish trust and transparency, avoid misunderstandings or disputes, and ensure that both you and your client are on the same page when it comes to payment. With a clear understanding of payment terms, you can negotiate with confidence and ensure a successful outcome for both parties. Be flexible. Being flexible can help to build a positive relationship with your client. Flexibility shows that you're willing to work with the client to find a solution that works for both parties. It also demonstrates that you're a team player and committed to delivering the best possible outcome for the project. Being flexible also helps you to be more creative and adaptable in your approach. Sometimes, the client may have a different vision or approach than you, and being flexible can help you to find new and innovative solutions to meet their needs. Don't be afraid to think outside the box and come up with alternative solutions that may better fit the client's budget or timeline. Another benefit of being flexible is that it can help to create a more positive and collaborative working environment. Being flexible means that you're open to feedback and willing to make adjustments as needed. This can help to build trust and foster a more productive working relationship with the client. However, it's important to set clear boundaries and expectations when it comes to being flexible. Don't compromise your values or your standards in order to please the client. Make sure you're clear on your own priorities and goals for the project, and be willing to negotiate on other aspects of the project in order to achieve those goals. Being flexible is a key part of successful freelance negotiations. It helps to build positive relationships, fosters creativity and adaptability, and creates a more collaborative working environment. With a flexible approach, you can negotiate with confidence and find solutions that work for both you and your client. Communicate clearly. Clear communication helps to ensure that everyone is on the same page. Make sure you're communicating your expectations clearly, including project timelines, milestones, and deliverables. Don't assume that the client understands your approach or your process. Be proactive in communicating your plans and progress to the client throughout the project. Another benefit of clear communication is that it helps to build trust and credibility with the client. When you communicate effectively, you demonstrate that you're reliable and trustworthy. This can help to create a positive working relationship and increase the likelihood of future freelance work with the client. When communicating with clients, it's important to choose the right medium for the message. Some messages may be better suited for email, while others may require a phone call or video chat. Make sure you're communicating in a way that works for the client and the project. Finally, it's important to be responsive and timely in your communication. Respond to emails and messages promptly, and keep the client updated on your progress throughout the project. If there are any delays or issues, be transparent and communicate them to the client as soon as possible. Clear communication is essential to successful freelance negotiations. It helps to ensure that everyone is on the same page, builds trust and credibility, and creates a positive working relationship. With a focus on clear communication, you can negotiate with confidence and ensure a successful outcome for both you and your client. Set boundaries. Setting boundaries helps you to maintain a healthy work-life balance. As a freelancer, it can be easy to blur the lines between work and personal life. However, it's important to prioritize your personal time and establish clear boundaries around when you're available to work and when you're not. Setting boundaries also helps you to manage expectations with clients. Make sure you're clear on your working hours and availability, and communicate these boundaries to your clients. This can help to prevent misunderstandings and ensure that the client is aware of your limitations. In addition, setting boundaries can help you to manage your workload and prevent burnout. Make sure you're clear on the scope of the project and your role in it. Don't be afraid to say no to projects that don't align with your values or that are outside of your expertise. When setting boundaries, it's important to be clear and assertive in your communication. Don't apologize for your boundaries or feel guilty about setting them. Remember that your time and energy are valuable, and it's important to protect them in order to do your best work. Setting boundaries is a crucial part of successful freelance negotiations. It helps you to maintain a healthy work-life balance, manage expectations with clients, and prevent burnout. With clear and assertive communication, you can negotiate with confidence and establish boundaries that work for both you and your clients. Document everything. Documentation helps to protect you legally and financially. Make sure you're keeping records of all contracts, invoices, and agreements with clients. This can help to prevent misunderstandings and disputes down the line. Additionally, having a record of all your interactions with a client can be crucial if legal action needs to be taken. Documentation also helps to ensure that everyone is on the same page. Make sure you're documenting all project requirements, timelines, and deliverables. This can help to prevent miscommunications and ensure that the client understands your approach and process. When documenting your interactions with clients, it's important to be organized and consistent. Use a system that works for you, whether it's a spreadsheet or a project management tool. Make sure you're labeling and organizing documents in a way that's easy to navigate and understand. In addition, it's important to be proactive in your documentation. Don't wait until the end of the project to start documenting. Keep records throughout the project and update them regularly as needed. Finally, make sure you're communicating with the client about your documentation process. Let them know that you'll be keeping records of all your interactions and explain why it's important. This can help to build trust and ensure that the client is aware of your approach. Documentation is a critical part of successful freelance negotiations. It helps to protect you legally and financially, ensure that everyone is on the same page, and build trust with clients. With a focus on organization and communication, you can negotiate with confidence and ensure a successful outcome for both you and your client. Be professional. Professionalism helps to build trust with clients. Make sure you're presenting yourself in a way that's respectful, courteous, and polished. This can help to create a positive impression and establish a strong working relationship. In addition, professionalism helps to ensure that your work is taken seriously. Make sure you're delivering high-quality work that's on time and meets the client's expectations. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback and make adjustments as needed. When maintaining professionalism, it's important to communicate clearly and effectively. Make sure you're using proper grammar and spelling in all your communications with clients. Use a professional tone that's appropriate for the situation. Furthermore, it's important to be punctual and reliable. Show up to meetings and appointments on time, and respond to emails and messages in a timely manner. If you're running late or need to reschedule, make sure you're communicating this to the client as soon as possible. Finally, make sure you're maintaining a positive attitude and a solution-oriented mindset. Don't let setbacks or challenges bring you down. Instead, focus on finding solutions and moving forward. Professionalism is a crucial part of successful freelance negotiations. It helps to build trust with clients, ensure that your work is taken seriously, and maintain a positive working relationship. With clear communication, punctuality, and a solution-oriented mindset, you can negotiate with confidence and achieve your goals. Thanks for tuning into our video on the top 10 tips for successful freelance negotiations with clients. We hope you found this information helpful and that it will help you to negotiate with confidence and get the best possible deals for your freelance services. Remember, negotiation is a skill that can be learned and improved upon with practice, so don't be afraid to put these tips into action. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more great content like this. Until next time, happy negotiating!